The 2026 Honda Gold Wing Trike is one of those machines that makes people stare, even if they've never been interested in motorcycles before. It's wide, it's long, and it has a road presence that feels almost like a luxury car. But once you get past the size, you realize this isn't just about looking big. It's about comfort, technology, stability, and opening up long-distance riding to people who want confidence as much as they want performance. Honda has stuck with what works when it comes to the engine. The Gold Wing Trike runs on an 1833cc flat 6-cylinder, liquid-cooled motor. Numbers aside, what makes this engine special is how smooth it is. A lot of big motorcycles shake and vibrate, which some riders like, but over time it gets tiring. This one, it's like silk. Twist the throttle and instead of a loud jerk, you get a steady, calm surge forward. It doesn't matter if you're pulling away from a stop, passing on a 2-lane road, or cruising up a mountain highway, the engine always has more to give. You don't have to fight it, you don't have to beg it, it's simply ready. That kind of reliability is what makes the Gold Wing famous, and in the trike format it's even more noticeable because you're carrying extra weight and maybe a passenger with luggage. Transmission is another area where Honda gives you choices. If you love the old-school feel of shifting, there's a 6-speed manual. But if you want something that makes life easier, there's Honda's dual-clutch transmission. In automatic mode, it handles all the gear changes for you, so you just focus on the ride. In manual mode, you get paddle shifters that make it fun again when the road opens up. Imagine cruising through city traffic without ever touching a clutch lever, and then hitting a scenic highway where you take over and feel more involved. That's what makes the DCT so clever, it adapts to whatever mood you're in. Suspension is another standout. Most bikes use telescopic forks up front, but Honda gave the Gold Wing a double wishbone system. If that sounds complicated, here's the simple version: it keeps the bike stable under braking. Instead of the front end diving down when you stop suddenly, it stays level. That makes the whole ride smoother and more predictable. Out back, the Gold Wing normally runs a single-sided swingarm, but with the trike setup you've got 2 wheels, often paired with independent suspension. That means each wheel reacts to bumps on its own, which reduces jolts and vibrations. On a cross-country ride, that comfort adds up in a big way. Of course, the biggest difference you notice on the Gold Wing Trike is the way it handles. On a 2-wheeled bike, you lean into corners, and your body becomes part of the balance. On the trike, you don't lean, you steer. At first it feels unusual, especially if you've spent years on 2 wheels, but once you get used to it the stability becomes addictive. You don't need to put your feet down at traffic lights. Gravel, uneven pavement, or sudden stops don't make you nervous anymore. If you're carrying a passenger, the trike feels planted and secure all the time. For riders who might not feel comfortable handling a big 2-wheeler, this opens the door to touring without compromise. And then there's the comfort. This bike feels like it was built around the rider. The seat is wide and cushioned, designed for hours of travel. Your riding position is upright but relaxed, so your back and shoulders don't ache after a few hundred miles. The passenger seat is just as generous, with a proper backrest and room to stretch out. Add in heated seats and grips, and suddenly riding in cold weather isn't such a challenge anymore. Wind protection is excellent. The large fairing and bodywork cut through the air, and the electric windscreen adjusts with the push of a button. Want quiet comfort on the highway? Raise it up and enjoy the calm bubble of air. Want a breeze on a hot day? Lower it and feel the wind. It's those little touches that make the Gold Wing Trike such a comfortable machine to live with. Technology is another big part of the package. You get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration, so your phone pairs seamlessly. Navigation, music, and calls are right there on the screen. The display itself is modern and easy to read, and Honda has done a good job of making the controls simple rather than overwhelming. There's even a solid audio system, so your favorite playlist or podcast can keep you company as the miles roll by. Storage is generous, and on a trike it's even better. The Gold Wing already comes with saddlebags and a trunk, but the wider rear end of the trike often means an even bigger trunk. That means you don't have to think twice about packing. Helmets, jackets, bags, you name it, it probably fits. And because Honda has integrated the storage into the design, it looks clean and premium rather than bulky or tacked on. On the road, the Gold Wing Trike feels exactly like it should: powerful, stable, and composed. It doesn't explode with speed, but that's not the point. It delivers steady, confident acceleration that makes passing easy and climbing hills effortless. At highway speeds, it feels like it was built to cruise all day. The suspension smooths out imperfections, the engine hums quietly in the background, and you just enjoy the ride. Cornering takes some adjustment because you steer instead of lean, but once you settle into it, the trike feels secure and predictable. Braking is excellent, with linked systems that balance force across all three wheels, which adds to that feeling of control. Visually, the 2026 model continues Honda's tradition of making the Gold Wing look like a premium touring machine. The LED headlights are sharp and bright, the fairing is muscular without being bulky, and the rear trike conversion looks fully integrated. Wide fenders, matching paint, clean lines, it all feels intentional and polished. When you see it in person, it doesn't look like an aftermarket add-on, it looks like something that rolled straight out of Honda's design studio. Now, there are a few trade-offs. The Gold Wing Trike is heavy, and that weight means it uses more fuel and takes more space. It's wide, so narrow roads and tight parking need a little more attention. Riders who love leaning into corners won't get that same sensation here. And yes, it's expensive. Between the base Gold Wing and the trike setup, this is a serious investment. But when you look at what it delivers, comfort, stability, storage, technology, and the ability to cross entire countries without breaking a sweat, it makes sense for the riders it's built for. Because at the end of the day, this machine isn't for everyone. It's not for people chasing top speed or carving corners on weekends. It's for riders who want to travel, who want to share the journey with a passenger, who want to ride hundreds of miles in comfort and arrive feeling good. It's for riders who value peace of mind and stability as much as